It is the end of the month or the beginning of the month, I guess. So that means it's time to reset our budget. And what's exciting is we're rolling into a new year. So I did a video where I talked about what my goals for 2025 are. And now my budget for January gets to reflect that. And I've been able to already allocate some money towards those goals. So if you haven't watched that video, I definitely recommend it if you're interested in this kind of reset-y type stuff. But I will talk about the changes that I made to my budget specifically in this video. So you won't be completely lost if you haven't seen that one, but I recommend watching it. In part because if you're interested in that, then it's interesting, and also in part because it supports me and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Anyways, if this is your first time clicking on one of my budget reset videos, I'll give you the lowdown of how this is gonna go. I'm gonna overview December's spending tracker and see how I did relative to how I budgeted my money as well as my goals. And then we're gonna jump into January. I'll overview how I've allocated money so far. But let's start by going over my December goals and kind of seeing where we landed there. So the first one I had was to reevaluate my Roth IRA for 2025. We'll circle back to that one when I go over my January budget because that's where the changes were made. I wanted to keep personal spending less than $175. I overspent in my personal spending category by about $63 of my $250. So 75 plus 63 is like 130 or 140 something dollars over that goal. So we did not accomplish that, but it's okay. And then I wanted to make a whopper student loan payment. I did make additional payments to my student loans, so we'll count it, but I have it in red because it's not really what I would consider a whopper. Like it wouldn't have a whopper theme song, you know? Let's go through all my spending and see exactly where things went wrong. So I'm just gonna filter this out so that we only have my variable spending in here so we can see a little easier. And I still made more than I spent this month, so I can't really be that upset. At the beginning of the month, I bought a birthday gift for a friend, a Christmas gift for Jake that was $239. I bought him Avs tickets to go to a hockey game. I did cheat the system a little bit and I had $200 in cashback rewards that I cashed out. So really I only spent $40 of my own money on this gift. Jake, if you're watching this, no, you didn't. And then also I saved monthly for gifts, so that was all covered there. We went to In-N-Out and I covered that for $19. We went to a burger joint and I covered that for almost $40. I went to the dentist and I showed up at the dentist and they were like, do you want fluoride? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And they're like, by the way, your insurance doesn't cover the fluoride. And I was like, well, now I can't say no to the fluoride. So I paid $30 for fluoride, which is a financial mistake caused by me not wanting to be judged by the dentist for not wanting something that my insurance isn't gonna pay for. Also, I hadn't been to a dentist in a few years. Don't judge me. I didn't have dental insurance in that time. If you wanna take it up with anyone, take it up with our government. I didn't really wanna fight it that bad because I felt like I might as well go hard in the paint when it comes to dental stuff. I did get a haircut. It cost me $25 total with the tip because I went to beauty school. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's pretty nice. Feels light, feels healthy, feels fresh. I've been cutting my own hair for the past 4 years, so having a student do it was much better. I went out to dinner with a friend. I had to renew my occupational therapy license, which is so lame because I just got my occupational therapy license. Spent $11.20 on flights. On 4 flights, I spent $11.20. Tell me credit card points aren't great. I got coffee with a friend. I went to Walgreens and I bought new scrubs that I had a gift card for, so $2.99 for that. So overall, nothing here is like super outrageous. Oh, did I say that I went to Walmart for $60 for Secret Santa stuff? Watch the vlog if you're curious on what I bought. Not super disappointed by any of that. I don't think anything in there is like outrageous spending. It all contributed to my quality of life. I'm not sad about any of that spending, but that led to a total, there's got to be a better way to do this, don't judge me. So all of that spending led to a total of $552.96 of spending, which is fine. I'm honestly so fine with that. Oh yeah, this is important to know. I offset my budget a month, or my income a month. So everything that I spent in December was money that I made in November, and November was a 3 paycheck month. So that's why I was pretty okay with all of this spending and I still had leftovers. So in December, just to overview, I made in November that was then allocated for December, $6,123.06. I spent, combined with my variable and my fixed expenses, $1,560.46. I saved almost $1,500. What? How would I do that? I put $2,700 to my debt, and that includes an additional $200 that I put to my debt from having leftover money. I invested $50 this month, and then I had a leftover of $317 at the end of the month. So that's fantastic. I cannot complain. Let's jump into where we're at with January. I honestly don't know where I left off there. So let's zoom in. One thing that I added to each of my categories where it's relevant is what I'm going to do with unexpected income. I did get a comment asking this question, and it had been something that I had intended to talk about for a little while, but I have a plan. Any unexpected income, so essentially anything that is not my job, I will budget in this way, 75-25. What does that mean? 75% of it is going to go to my first priority, which is my student loans. 20% of it is going to go to my second priority, which is investments, specifically maxing out my Roth IRA for the year. And 5% of it will be mine to spend willy-nilly however the hex I want. So we did get some unexpected income this month, but that is not the only change here. If we scroll on over to our debt category, we'll notice that I'm contributing $400 less per month than I was. And this is because I am contributing $583 a month to my Roth IRA, which will allow me to max it out in 2025. Done the math, if I max out my Roth IRA every year until I turn 65, I will be able to retire so comfortably. So this is my bare minimum, and then as I make more income over time, I'll invest towards early retirement. We're just starting there. And then in order to hit that 583, because I only pulled back $400, I did pull back about $183, I guess would be the math, between my variable and savings. So if you're interested in the specific numbers, that's where you can go watch the video, but those are where I cut. I cut from my debt payment slightly, my savings, and my variable spending. So if we come over to my income tracker for January, I have money that I've made in December. My income that I'll be able to spend in January was $4,379. Of that, $2,089.34 of it was my first paycheck, which is a little bit larger than my second because I worked Thanksgiving, so there's some holiday pay in there. And then $19.90 was my second paycheck. I put money towards debt. My first paycheck, I pulled $11.50 towards the debt because quite honestly, I had forgotten that I was paying less. So then I just took it out of the second one and paid $8.50 the second time around. Of that $300 of income, I have already allocated my $225, which is 70% to my extra debt and made that payment, and $60 to my investments. And then I also made all of my savings and allocated those appropriately, and I invested $583 to my Roth IRA, so very exciting. So far we are on track, and I just need to pay my living expenses, which I give Jake $900 to do whatever the heck he wants with, and I just Venmo him this money. It's not the most efficient, but we are not married, and so we don't have a joint bank account right now. Same thing for my car insurance. We bundle all our cars together. And then one more thing that needs to get paid is my phone bill, and same deal. My mother has so kindly let me stay on a family plan because it is cheaper for everyone, but I just pay her monthly that amount. So I just have to make those payments, and then I think we're golden. So that leaves me with $273 left over, which is perfect because $200 of that is mine to spend, and then the leftover $73 will just roll over into the next month. So circling back to, if you are invested in my student loan payoff journey and want to know how much I have left, I'm not going to share my screen for this, but I am going to pull up my loans and I'll tell you where we're at. If you're familiar, you know that I started with $127,000 and change, and I started paying it off in August is when in July. I started paying it off in July, so about 6 months ago, and we are currently at $115,412.66, which means I have paid off about $12,000, and we are pending $1,200, so we'll be at right about $13,000 in 6 months, so we'll take it. Huge accomplishment, if I do say so myself. Really just have to do that 10 more times. God, that's 5 years. It'll go faster because the interest will go down. Okay, crew, that's my budget overview from December and my plan for January. This was fun. I enjoyed having you. If you enjoyed being here, please subscribe because it really supports me and supports my channel. Don't forget to go back and watch that video. It'll be right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions, drop them below. If they're mean questions, feel free not to ask them. Okay, see you, bye.